Welcome back to Pull the Receipts. Today's story comes from Reddit's r/pettyrevenge. Okay, so I was playing 18 holes as a single mid-afternoon recently at my local club on a beautiful sunny day. After the first few holes, as I approached the tee box on a par 5, there were two carts farther down. One was in the middle of the fairway, and farther down, another was near a pond. I assumed it was a foursome, so I waited patiently for them to hit their second shot because they were within my driver range. I'm not a big hitter, like the llama. I was in no rush and thoroughly enjoying my time on the course. The cart in the middle of the fairway hit and moved on, but the other two players farther down were still over by the pond and not playing. So I assumed that they were part of the maintenance crew working on something near the pond, which was out of bounds on the right and well out of my range. I therefore went ahead and hit my driver about 230 yards along the right side and proceeded up to my ball. During my drive from the tee box, the two players who I saw hit were hitting chip shots onto the green, and the guys near the pond were still milling around and not paying any attention to me. So, after waiting for about a minute, I disregarded them and decided to hit my second shot. I was concerned about hitting them because they were only about 50 yards ahead of me on the right, and because I rarely hit the ball where I aim, I didn't want to hurt either of these maintenance fellows. I drilled my second shot straight down the right side of the fairway, about 200 yards, and I was feeling really good because, 1, I hit the ball well, and 2, I didn't hurt anybody in front of me. Now, the two players that were actually playing the hole were on the green putting, so I couldn't hit my third shot. At this point, I decided to search in the tall grass and trees on the left side of the fairway for balls, because, besides scoring well, finding lost balls is just as rewarding for me. I found 4 balls in about 30 seconds, so I was elated. As the guys were walking off the green, I drove my cart up to a ball that was in the area on the right side of the fairway where I thought I hit my ball. I didn't pick the ball up or examine it because I assumed it was mine since I was the only one playing the hole. I took out my gap wedge and approached the ball. As I was lining up for my shot, the maintenance guys drove up in their cart and yelled, "That is my ball." I looked at him dumbfounded, and he said it was a pinnacle. I looked at it, and he was correct. I then said to him, "Sorry, but I didn't look at it because I'm the only one playing this hole, so I assumed it was my ball." He got offended and said that it was his ball. This guy looked like Carl from Caddyshack, wearing a bucket hat, dirty pants, and a t-shirt. He gave me the hairy eyeball look, like I was in the wrong because I didn't realize that him and his clown buddy were also playing this hole, even though they were carrying ball retrieval poles and a small shovel, not clubs. I responded by saying he should pay attention to what was going on instead of searching for balls while others were trying to play the course. I mentioned that he was lucky I didn't drill my ball into the side of his head because I don't have that good of aim. Then, I walked up the fairway another 20 feet and saw my ball just off the fairway in the deep grass. I assumed that at least one of the 4 balls I found was one of their balls, which I never saw them hit during my entire time waiting for the guys in the fairway in front of me to hit. I then hit my third shot onto the green and finished the hole with a par. As I walked off the green, with 4 new golf balls in my possession, the ball hunters were still off in the weeds looking for balls as another twosome pulled up into the area on the fairway I just vacated. What a couple of dopes. That's it for today. Drop a comment with your verdict below, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a story.